This is part 3 of a bathroom remodel. Today we're going to be finishing up the HYDRO-BLOK shower system. We're going to be putting the walls up, adding sealant, as well as water testing our drain. What's going on, everybody? Thanks for joining me on this episode, and we're just going to be wrapping up the water system. This is the HYDRO-BLOK. Pretty simple system to use, and what I'm doing here is I'm just adding polyurethane sealant to the I think it's called the Rabbit. It's just a groove on the outside. What you're going to want to do is make sure it's clean, there's no dirt in there, there's no dust in there. You're going to want 100% adhesion, so just give it a quick clean, vacuum it, blow it out, whatever you got to do. So this is a sausage gun. It's going to make it a lot easier than using tubes. It comes with the shower system. I believe you can get tubes for a smaller caulking gun. That's my son. He's been joining me for a couple of days on this bathroom build. And so just what I did is I went from end to end, and there's about a 1/2 inch, 3/4 inch bead there of sealant. And then what I'll do is I'll grab that board behind me and we're going to push it down, and you want to make sure you force it right down. What I did, and you'll see later on, is I put the level up to it and make sure it's the same marks that I marked before when I knew it was tight, when there was no sealant in there. So here's me and my son Jackson, and we're just kind of putting the board in there. We're going to push it down into the Rabbit and get a nice good bond with that sealant that we added. With this system, it comes with, I believe it's a galvanized screw and a washer. The washer has 4 teeth on it, and what you're going to do is you're just going to push them in, put the screws in. You don't need, I think it's about 6 inches from the ground. You don't need to be any lower than that, as you're going to be getting into the water area. The Rabbit in the pan, as well as the sealant, will take care of those bottom 6 inches. So just push them in along the perimeter, and then I think it calls for every 12 or 16 inches apart, and just screw them up nice and tight. Here's a little tip here. Just mark the tops of your wallboard before you put the sealant in, and then that way you know when it lines up to your pencil mark that you got it all the way down. Otherwise it might be sitting cockeyed and not all the way down into the Rabbit, which will void your warranty. So, and also just double check it with the level. If everything's in nice and level, you know that that's how it's going to be. So just keep that in mind when you're doing this. So a quick little tip here, when you're trying to figure out the distance between screws, you don't need to get a pencil. Just kind of stretch out your tape and push the edge in. Hold it on 16 or 10 or 12 or whatever your distance calls for, and just etch it into the board. You'll be able to see it, so no need to get your pencil out. What a blessing it's been to have my son with me today at work. Just seeing him come out of shell and have fun and screw around was pretty cool. Anyways, so what we're going to do here is we're just going to keep moving forward with the wallboard. Best thing to do is dry fit it. Little trick here, don't go in this way. You're going to want to get around either your mixing valve or your shower head, depending on what height you're at. Slide it in there, dry fit it, make sure you got the proper fit up, that it's sitting nice and tight. Kind of feel it around, it's bearing on all the studs. If you prep properly, this shouldn't be an issue. And then just set it down and repeat the same steps that you did into the Rabbit at the bottom. You're just going to take the sausage gun with the sealant in it. You're going to put a nice little bead across, about 3/4 of an inch. It'll ooze out when you compress the 2 sheets together, so don't worry about that. So just kind of follow through, add the sealant, throw your board up, compress it down, and then screw it off. So what we're going to do, we're going to time lapse the rest of this video. We're just repeating the steps with screws and sealant, just different areas with wallboard. So we're going to throw some music on. I'll catch up with you at the end of this. So this is the HYDRO-BLOK plug they supply with the kit. This is to do your drain test for water, and essentially this is after I pulled it out and done my test the next day. Here I am, it's plugged up, and we're just gonna fill up just kind of outside into the pan. We're gonna let that sit for 24 hours, and then we'll catch up on the next episode.